But just know, Zebo is where it's at.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Last Minute Podcast. On the left, I got Big Tina. On the right, I got Zebo G.
What's going on?
And today we got a very special guest.
Rueben Vince Carter, Martin Luther King, Luther Vandross, but also known as Rueben Vincent.
Yes, sir.
Right.
We back.
Yes, sir.
Episode 111 of the most consistent podcast in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
back in here.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsors.
Back in here.
Shout out Mamacita's food truck and Summer Stage and Libations Mobile Bar. How everybody feeling today?
It's good, man.
Good. Yeah. Cool.
I'm tired.
Tired. You was up all night type of tired, or you just
No, I went to bed actually.
you just tired?
I'm tired.
Work did it to you.
High key.
High key.
It's hot. My clients, they turned. And yeah.
They lit. What you do?
I am a qualified professional at a mentally disabled group home.
Oh, fire.
And I'm over two of them. And they have, like autism, Down syndrome, but they also have like depression and different behaviors. So it's like
dope.
a deep combination of those. So yeah, dodging, chairs and shit.
Where's one? Oh,
That's
wow.
wild.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
it
if they
get
turn
violent.
up, they
Dodgers
turn
is
up. So
wild.
it's like a lot of mind games. So I'm mentally tired. Let me say it like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Dang.
Gotcha.
That's beautiful though. That's very
Thank
powerful
you.
of you to do.
That is good.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. I'm glad everyone had a good day. Let's go over what we listened to this past week. Tanner, we'll start with you.
Oh, I got a list.
All right. Let's see.
We have had a week. I ain't gonna play.
So I went ahead and ran Nas Magic 2.
Yes.
Hard.
What'd
It is
Him
hard.
and Hit Boy on a run.
Yeah, they are.
A crazy run.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nas and Hit Boy.
Facts.
Also ran Nas. It was written, and Nas Stillmatic, because once I listened, he used to be my favorite rapper when I was young. So once I get in the Nas bag, I just keep going. I heard the 50 Cent feature on, what's it called, Office? What's the
I forgot what the track is, but I know. what you're
Office
talking
Hours? I
Office
think.
hours, yeah.
Yeah, so I went ahead and ran Get Rich or Die Trying and Before I Self-Destruct. Jumped in, ran some Memphis Bleak, Coming of Age, the Black Star album with Mos Def and Talib Kweli, Rueben Vincent, Love is War.
Hey,
Go ahead and that was part of my research.
bye.
I never know how to say this dude's name. Is it Valet or Valley?
Valet.
Valet.
Yeah, Valet.
So his new album with Harry Fraud, that shit hard.
I still got around that.
Yeah, I got to tap into that too. I listened to the single with Mavi on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit hard. Mavi killed his feature too. That shit was hard.
Shout out to Mav.
Facts.
Summer's Mine, Babyface Ray.
I still got around that.
I don't know. It didn't. I wasn't a huge fan of the production. I think that's what threw it off for me. I wasn't a big fan of the beats. What else did I run? Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z. I got my Jay-Z bag a little bit this week. The Black Album, American Gangster. I did run Layla's Wisdom by Rhapsody. That's probably my
Shout out
favorite.
my sis, man.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite Rhapsody album.
That was solid.
Blank Face, LP, Schoolboy Q, The House is Burning, Isaiah Rashad, Long Live ASAP Rocky, Still Running Michael by Killer Mike.
You had a crazy week.
I think Michael's my album of the year, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you've been saying that ever since
I
it
was gonna
dropped.
say, man, somebody gonna have to drop something special. Drake and 21 Savage, Her Loss, Trent the Hooligan, All Gas, No Brakes, Currency, Vices with Harry Fraud, that shit was hard.
That was hard.
I did run some Westside Boogie, Everything's for Sale,
That's a great album.
Reason,
Yes, it
New
is.
Beginnings. I was listening to Love is War and I heard the Reason feature and I was like, damn, I need to go listen to his album again.
Shout out Reeves. That's my dog.
Benny Siegel, The Reason, can't go wrong with that. And then I did run Diplomatic Community by Dipset.
You had a crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Crazy
know, bro. I've been in
week.
my bag these past couple weeks.
That's a great list.
Fact.
Appreciate
Yeah, five lists.
Facts.
Ruben, let's go with you.
All right. So for me, let me go to my streaming. I haven't really been listening to a lot of rap.
Okay.
I've been listening to a lot of jazz. So that
Oh, that's fine.
is like jazz funk fusion. So like a lot of like Roy Ayers, Ronnie Laws, Herbie Hancock, Donald Byrd, Bobby Humphrey, stuff like that. But on the rap side, just because we went to the J Museum in the Brooklyn Public Library, I went through like a Rockefeller phase during
feel
this
you.
weekend.
Yeah, that's dope.
And just looking at, the history of the lineage that now I'm also a part of, is like, oh, that's dope. So it's like going back to that. I ain't gonna front, I definitely tapped in. I was in the gym listening to Central C Project.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening to like a lot of 80s R&B, like, you know, Anita Baker, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown cameo. And then I did check out the Nas album.
What you think?
Check that out. And then I also, what I thought of it, I think Nas having fun. I don't think it's a thing of, like, I'm not looking at it with the same expectations of it was written or anything like that. But I think he's still getting off what he wants to get off. And I think him and Hit Boy are on a incredible run consistency-wise.
Yeah, they are.
I think their chemistry is just insane.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
they just sound, I don't know, it just sound like comfortable music. It sounded like they was comfortable when they was making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, and then I listen to Eam Triplet.
Still pretty.
Yeah, so that's what I've been on.
Okay. That's a solid list. Solid list.
Solid week.
Solid week. I'll go next. So this past weekend I watched a lot of the Rolling Loud sets. So it's kind of been everywhere. So I dipped into Icy Twat's new album.
That's a crazy name.
Fire album. I found some artist named K Hood when I was in Virginia.
Oh, is she famous on TikTok?
I don't have TikTok, but it's a she. Yeah.
She got a song called
The song that I ran was called "Shiver Me Timbers," and it was hard.
that might be her.
It's crazy because I heard
She
someone.
funny.
We was driving. We was at the stoplight, and someone was playing it in the car beside us. I read it on the window. I was like, "Yo, what's that?" They was like, "Oh, K Hood, Shiver Me Timbers." They was like, "Yeah, that's my sis." I was like, "Word." I looked it up. That's not hard.
She got locks. They blind.
I don't even know how she looked. Like, I just played the track, and I played one other track, and then I just kind of kept it
So
playing.
you
that's
press
her.
somebody at the red light to find out what song they was playing?
It was
was
just
that hard?
It was
I might
hard.
have
Like,
to
it
tap
definitely
in.
caught
I
my
might have to
ear.
tap in.
Listen to Corey Miller's new project. Very good. Yeah, I definitely like respect it. Listen to some YNG Apollo. Been listening to ZG400's latest project.
Hard.
I tapped into the past like year. Live Love ASAP like just gets played a lot. Like a lot. Like it's one of them I'll just play a song, then I gotta end up listening to the whole project.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, so I've been listening to that. Laughing So Hard It Hurts with Mavi. Shout out Mavi.
Shout out Mav.
And Magic 2 with Nas. I like it. I like specifically my favorite track is either Pixels on Your album cover or What This All Really Means. I'll say that's probably my favorite. And then still Baby Drill. Baby Drill's
That shit is hard.
yeah, Baby Drill is just real evil. Then of
Yeah.
course Larry June. You know, so
Can't go wrong with some Larry June.
Good job, Larry.
yeah. And just on the Rolling Loud joint, Bryson Tiller had an amazing set.
Did he?
Yes,
Maybe
but
that-
the DJ fucked up. Bad.
Like he fucked a drop up?
Yes, he
They been fucking that
because
drop
he only
up for
fucked it over
years.
because you let him. And it's like a little pause and then it comes.
Yeah.
Like right after he said, "Fuck you over there," you let him. Then it just like instantly started playing. He looked at the DJ. He was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mess. But besides that, it was a good set. But that's who I've been playing this past week. And then Tina, last but not least.
I ain't really been listening to music this week. I've been real quiet.
I feel that.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, you
I
do.
feel that.
For real.
I'm a big advocate for that.
Yeah, nah, facts.
But for the little bit I did listen to, I listened to Laughing So Hard It Hurts, Mavi. Then I listened to my playlist lately. Then I listened to Travis Scott's new album or new song, K-pop. I like Travis
wasn't for
and
me.
Bad Bunny's
It ain't for
part.
me either.
I don't care for The Weeknd.
Was not for me.
Yeah.
Then I listened to Summer's Mom, Babyface Ray. I liked it.
I respect it.
I think the beats are beautiful because the Jeep be thumping.
Okay.
Then I listened to Snow Allegra's her new single "Be My Summer." It was okay.
Yeah.
It was cute.
It was cute.
Then I listened to her Loss
Okay.
with Drake.
Can't go wrong with that.
I thought it'd be different by Roy. He has a J Electronica verse on there, and I thought it was hard.
Shout out Rory. That's
Shout
my
out
dog.
Yeah, from Rory and Mal podcast.
That's my dog, man. I was just with him in New York.
Word.
That's him.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So I don't.
Word?
Does he
Oh, I ain't even
produce
tapping
or
that
does he
yet.
just curate music?
A little bit of both.
Little bit
like
of both?
he's producing and curating at the same time.
Okay.
sick.
That's a nice
His
album.
album was dope. He put together a good project.
Right, yeah. Shout out Roy. That's my dog. We literally was just with him in New York last week playing him some of the new music and stuff.
Hell
like
yeah.
I did not know.
Shout out to the new Rory Mall
I did not know that
podcast.
was a
that.
thing.
Exact.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I do want to touch on what you said about not listening to music sometimes. That's really neat. And that's something I've been doing
Yes.
very much. Like I've been even like even when I was saying I didn't say this when I was like I haven't been listening to rap, but what I've been doing even is listening to podcasts and
Yeah.
like
Oh,
you know, interviews and stuff like that more lately. Like so
In the mornings, I listen to Transformation Church, and like I have to listen to that first, or I don't listen to music that day. So it's making me be more conscious of my time spending with God. But
All right.
it's beneficial. Like my mornings start very quiet, like getting a word. I move a lot slower in the mornings, but it's beneficial. Like it starts my day. It sets the tone.
how you spend your morning is very important.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I have realized that as I get older, I don't listen to the same kind of music in the morning.
Yeah. You can't
Because I used to listen to some wild shit in the morning.
Yeah, you gotta wake up. Gotta get that adrenaline boost.
Like, but now when I'm riding to work, I like listening to podcasts and shit like that.
My dog Newt, he put me on something where he's like, yo, listen to classical music in the morning and get your brain going.
Huh.
So I've done that
I
a
might have
couple
to
days.
tap in.
How's that been?
I feel like it worked.
I might do that.
I
at
feel
work.
like it worked.
Cause see, I don't listen to nothing in the morning. Like, I'll go.
I could understand that
Like,
too.
I don't listen to nothing until like I get in the car. Like I don't listen to nothing. Just I don't know. I just feel like it's like my thinking hour somewhat.
Yeah.
I just wake up, you know,
That's good, though.
no sound. Yeah, just no sound. Then when I get in the car, you know, then okay, let's turn up. But
Kind of like the idea of the classical music.
yeah, that's smooth. I feel like
I'm
that'll be
advocate
smooth.
for that.
I
Yeah,
bet that probably puts you
that'd
in
be
like a
smooth.
good mood.
Right. Nah, it definitely gets your brain going and get your brain turning and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So,
I've done it and I start cleaning my room and all that extra stuff.
Just
So,
make you
yeah.
productive.
Oh, I need to do
Yeah.
that. I need to do that at work.
but okay, solid week from everyone. Solid music week. This Friday we have Travis Scott Utopia dropping. Are we excited?
Are we live
I
streaming?
don't even care.
You don't care?
Like, I mean, I'm ready for it, but like, I'm kind of like, oh damn, it came. All right, like it's here. Okay. I guess maybe because I don't know. He didn't really. Like we were saying on the phone, like the rollout has been cool, but like at the same time, it
So
hasn't.
did the pyramid thing get canceled or no?
Okay,
No,
see,
it
I
didn't.
thought I was tripping.
Okay.
Like that's still happening.
Okay, because I know there was a rumor that it got canceled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
was
Because that's
one-
gonna be some dope shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope
That's
to
super
watch.
dope.
And I still wonder what it's streaming on. I just feel like that's not just like a free YouTube type of stream.
Oh, you feel like you probably gotta buy it? Yeah.
I don't know, maybe like
That would make
Amazon or
sense.
something,
That-
maybe.
that probably makes sense.
But yeah, anyway, that drops Friday. One of the songs is the K-pop joint. He released one of the covers today. It's out of 5 covers. I'm not really a fan of the cover, somewhat, but I don't know. I mean, woohoo!
I'm curious to see what it sound like.
Yeah, just
That's
Yeah,
that's
me
the
too.
only like inkling I have. Like it's just like, oh,
because
okay.
I don't know what direction we're going in.
And he
Because
got-
I'm from the covers. I'm wondering if he's coming from like a drug addict standpoint. Like his music is. If you have you seen the covers?
yeah, I saw him.
They out of pocket, low key.
shit's
Like
sweet,
it's
bro.
kind of like, oh, okay. Like, cause have you seen them?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's giving. I don't know. Euphoria. What is it? Utopia.
Utopia.
Yeah,
It's like you're
Utopia.
trying to reach something that you can't. You know, it's something that you're always grasping for, which are like drug addicts. They always grasping for that next high. So it's like, is he trying to say his music is like that? And then you got these people holding money and like drug addicts. They low-key look like zombies. They, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I didn't get it. 'Cause, well, hang on. So utopia is like a perfect society, right? Ain't that what a utopia is?
Essentially, yeah.
That's the meaning of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, the album cover didn't make any sense. to me.
Yeah, I was talking to my boy Shell. He was just like, I'm just trying to figure out what's the
I don't know.
niche.
Guess we'll hear when we listen to the music.
Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah,
always,
you're right.
I'm always excited to listen to Travis because he always innovated sound.
Yeah, he does.
He always sound like, I don't know. He just sounds different every
Yeah.
time. He's always trying to push himself forward. So I always give it a listen.
He released a movie trailer today too, and it's supposed to be playing at AMC theaters this weekend. The runtime was like an hour 42 minutes.
Oh shit! So it's like
Yeah, it's like a movie. Yeah,
Oh, attached to the album.
yeah.
Oh, fire.
It drops
That's
Friday.
kinda
Yeah.
hard.
I forgot the name of it.
I might have to go watch that.
money back.
I wonder
Oh,
if
it's called
running.
Circus Maximus.
Is it in all theaters?
Circus Maximus.
Circus Maximus. Yeah.
Is Is it in all theaters?
I think just at AMC. So I mean, sure, yeah, sure. But yeah, with Travis Scott, you know, we'll see what's up. Let's dive into rap news real quick before we start asking Ruben a bunch of questions. So, so Young Thug, he was denied bond again in the RICO case against YSL. Yeah, that's a
Free Thug, man.
that's a
I seen something on Twitter that said crime is down 35% because of him and Lucci are
Did see
in
that.
jail.
Yeah,
I don't know if I believe it.
I know, right?
That's
I don't know. That's a
intense.
stretch. That's a stretch.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is a stretch.
I need to see the record.
35, bro. That's almost 50%
I need to see the record.
because of two niggas.
Yeah,
Well,
I just don't believe
It's
it.
they whole camp. So I mean, I low-key could believe that if they are.
But were they running Atlanta like that?
Apparently, if they going down like
That's
this, if you get a
crazy.
RICO charge, what you think they not running Atlanta?
I don't know, 35%.
I'm intrigued to see. Like, I would like to see the paperwork.
I don't know. Free Thug.
There we go. We'll leave it there. Free
Right.
Thug. We'll leave it there. We also have
35% is wild, though.
yeah, that's crazy. Sexy Red is currently turning down $40,000 features.
Hey, shout out to her. Get your
I
money.
love her.
Ski. Ski.
That's crazy.
She take.
I saw someone said whatever song it was that she just dropped the music video to. That was like she sounded like 06 Soldier.
Yeah.
And then I went and listened to it and it sounded just like
Yo,
06
she give me
Soldier.
Crime
not
Mob
mad.
3-6 Mafia vibes, bro.
Yes.
Like,
I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah,
know what
it was-
I'm saying?
yeah.
and
I love her.
you know, everybody got mixed reviews on Sexy Red, but this is Sexy Red fan page right here.
I think she hard.
Oh, it's a lot of swag. Yeah, it's a
I
lot of
think she
swag going
hard.
on. I just want her to do like a vlog or something. Like
Yeah, she does need
That'll
to
be-
put like her day to day.
yeah, like a
That'd be
day
hard.
to day type thing. That'll be great.
I know they was killing her for going to that high school. They was on her head.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, the Walking the Dudes was crazy though. I ain't gonna sit here.
Oh
and
yeah,
sit
coming
here.
out of Roll Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had.
Yeah,
the
that
Dennis
was
James.
that was
shit
definitely wild.
Yeah, I wasn't rocking with that. I'm a fan, but not that part.
We have so ASAP Rocky, ASAP Rocky. This past Rolling Loud set. He said a line that says, "First you stole my flow, so I stole your bitch. Then you stole my style. I need at least 10%. All due disrespect. I hope you take offense." And fans were saying that's a shot at Travis Scott. Yeah, that's that stuff.
Did we think he stole his flow?
I want flow. No.
I guess it depends. I don't know.
If
Now that I think
if I
about it.
can grab any pause, if I can say anything, I'll say maybe style or like the aesthetic.
So hang on, you saying Travis Scott stole ASAP Rocky's?
I'm not
aesthetic?
saying stole. I don't say
Well,
he's.
that's what ASAP Rocky's saying?
Yeah. So the line is first you stole my flow, so I stole your bitch. Then you stole my style. I need at least 10%. All due disrespect. I hope you take offense.
Bro, ASAP Rocky stole the whole Houston style. And he from New York.
I don't know. Stole is a strong word.
Used.
Hey, when ASAP first came out, it was a movement.
It was,
bro.
It was. And I was a huge fan, but like
I was watching.
there's a lot of Southern culture in that
I mean,
in
you're not
in
wrong.
A$AP Rocky.
You're not wrong. You're not
Ain't there
wrong.
was a video that came out? I don't remember who it was, but between Trav and ASAP, somebody was walking and somebody said the other person's.
It was someone said ASAP to Travis,
Yeah, he
I want to
got-
say,
Yeah, he got.
and he
super
was
hot.
like, "I'm not Rocky, or don't call me that, or something like that."
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
Yeah, it was like,
I mean, that's fair.
yeah,
That
something
ain't-
with
that
TMZ.
ain't who he is.
I mean, you're right, but yeah,
Man, this has been bubbling for a while though. Hadn't they had like little moments
They really
over the past
beefing?
couple years?
I don't know. I never.
It's been quiet if they beef because I ain't never heard like.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't really comment on that. I have to do my research and get back.
I could see it though, but I don't know.
One of the comments says Rocky has more 3-6 sound than anything. He'll tell you that him and ASAP Ferg break hella bread with us. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I thought they were the same dudes for 6 years. That's crazy.
I don't know. That coming up, that's like kind of random. I don't know why he just like decided to throw that out there.
Yeah. When I was watching it live, I was like, okay,
Yeah, I don't,
all right,
who knows?
yeah.
I don't know.
Then last, so YNW Melly, the verdict was a mistrial. And then there was just like, either they can trash the case or they can go to trial with it again. So prosecutors confirmed that they are not dropping the case.
Oh
they
my
will
God,
retry the
bro.
double murder case against rapper YNW Melly with a new jury.
Bro, let this man go home.
Do I think he did it?
What a safe answer. What a safe answer. What a safe answer.
I don't think.
All right, hang on. Let me re-ask that question. If you was on the jury,
I'm gonna do this.
if you was on the jury, had they convinced you that he did it?
Safe answer.
That's what I'm gonna do right there.
Safe
I'm like,
answer. Safe answer.
I don't know. I watched it pretty close. They didn't convince me at all. Like, at all.
He gonna get off. Like I said, from the jump.
Man, they better get that
He's gonna
man
get
bail.
Yeah.
Ain't no
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he go to mistrial and then they retry him and they don't give him bail.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't know, bro. It's double murder.
He been in there for 5 years. Get that man bail.
I got murder on my mind.
Yeah, bro. That's yeah.
That was just a bad choice of words.
Yeah, it really was, and because the lyrics are really crazy. So,
Yo, did y'all see that video where he was? I forgot the lyrics. What he was saying.
He's like rapping into the mic.
Yeah, that he looked at the camera like.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. He said something like.
It was
I
one of like
killed
live
him.
performances.
He's like, I'm really a murderer. Or some
Yeah,
shit
he's
like
I'm
that.
really a murderer.
Yeah.
And then he looked. That was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But I don't know.
Once again, bad choice of words.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Yeah, just bad choice of words. But yeah, I guess we'll watch what happens this time.
Yeah,
Just
he
like
been in there
man.
5 years, man. I hope they give him bail.
Free Thug though.
Free thug for sure.
Free Thug, y'all heard it here first. That's enough for rap news for today. Let's dive into the interview portion of this episode. We got Rueben Vincent in the building. Y'all see what's going on. We got Rueben Vincent in the building.
Flocker.
Ah,
Hey.
Rueben, tell the people who you are.
Rueben Vincent. I am a young man from Charlotte, North Carolina, by the way of Liberia, which is in West Africa. I am a son. I am a brother. I am a man. I'm a visionary. I'm just trying to, learn myself every day. I don't think there's really an answer to who am I until, the completion of life is over. So, I think the answer continues to grow as I grow.
Okay. Solid answer.
So I kind of just want to start like all the way from the beginning. So born in Charlotte. Kind of what was your upbringing like growing up? Like as far as childhood.
So I'm the only, not the really the only child, but I'm only the child from my mom and dad. So I lived with my mom my whole life. You know what I'm saying? My dad, I saw him throughout my life. I used to go to his house on the weekends. Both Liberian, you know what I'm saying? So either house I was in, it was an African household.
Yeah.
My dad used to pick me up on the weekends, different vehicles in different eras. But the one vehicle I remember was a blue Cadillac. And this was a pivotal time because when I was like 3-4 years old, he used to pick me up and play like Pac, Big, Nas, Jay, all the legends, 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like those moments is where I gravitated to rap music, you know what I mean? And, just vocalizing who I was. And I always was, I feel like musically into music. I remember my dad would say when I was younger, he would put cartoons on and then I'll be crying still. And then it's like he put 106 in Park on and now I'm like,
now you smiling.
glued to the TV. So it's like stuff like that. I was very charismatic, very confident kid, but also very quiet at the same time. You know what I mean? I spoke when I needed to speak. I would speak my mind, but I also didn't talk a lot. I was I was an observer. I'm the oldest son for both my parents. I have an older sister on my dad's side that he had in Africa before he came here. And then I'm the oldest on my mom's side, period. I got a lot of siblings. I got 2 on my mom's and I got 5 on my dad's. And I have a big family on my dad's side. My grandma has, I don't butcher me, but it's somewhere in between 13 and 15 kids. So
Big family.
Yeah, that's a huge family.
Real big
so
family.
I got a lot of cousins. I always, every summer we used to have like, we throw something in for my grandma. So I have a lot of personalities around me. And because I was the kid who was always observant, but also very, as everyone would say, talented, I would take in a lot of energy so I can act out how people are and, mesh in with different crowds and stuff like that. And then, I grew up in Charlotte, East Charlotte, lived on Albemarle Road, right? And then also, my mom had got a crib with her ex-husband now, but husband at the time, right near the Red Sea. So, like, I lived over there around Avonsong and all of that, stayed over there for majority of my time. And I was always just head focused on wanting to be a musician. I always knew this is what I wanted to do. I wasn't always the goodest kid. I'm not gonna sit there and say that I got into fights in school and probably hang with the wrong crowd a couple times. But my mom, I gotta give, the utmost gratitude for my mom because she always pulled me. Anytime I was going this way, she's like,
put you right back on track.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
So-
exactly.
So during that time, was there anybody around you, like as a child? Did anybody in your family make music, or anybody else chasing that dream, or you was just the first one that really
Nah, I think
started focusing on music?
Nobody was really chasing music. I mean, my dad tells me now, I didn't know this, but my dad tells me now that like before he came to like America, like he was like, they used to sing and stuff like that. And like, he even at one point used to like lead a choir and stuff in Africa. Okay. And then my mom tells me that her dad, who passed away in the Liberian Civil War in the 90s, he was like very musically inclined. He used to play the drums a lot and all of that stuff. But I didn't know this until I gotten older.
So you weren't necessarily around it, but it was in the blood. It was in your blood. The music was in your blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they just played stuff around me and I just gravitated to it.
I saw I went through your IG earlier and I saw, so you have been rapping for a minute. It was you rapped over Ice Cream Paint Job
when I was like 8 years old.
2009.
Yeah.
Facts.
You was going for sure.
Facts. That was one of my first times. So my uncle on my dad's side, he knew somebody in the city who had like a home studio. So they like, I pulled up to their house and I was trying to like prove to them that I could rap, and that was like the footage of me like rapping. Tight. They playing the beat and I'm like just going.
I'm assuming they let you keep rapping.
Yeah, nonstop. And I didn't want to stop. So
that's tight. Yeah. That's really tight. Just speaking on Charlotte, how do you like the music scene in Charlotte right now? Is it looking good?
It's in a beautiful space. I think years ago there were people who were doing things in the city, you know what I'm saying? Especially while I was in middle school, high school, and from the Loops, right? The Elevator J's, De Niro's, the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? I remember the new Charlotte video coming out when I was, I think, like either in 8th grade or a freshman, high school.
I think everybody remember that
video. Yeah, I remember that.
So I remember seeing that and having a sense of hope of what Charlotte could turn into. You know what I mean? So to see where it is now and to see, multiple people doing what they're doing and continuing to rise and in their own respectable lanes, but then also being in arm's reach of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking about Mavi earlier. I literally was just talking to Mavi before I got here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I'm glad to see his growth. I'm glad to see Luke's growth. Luke's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Sianka's a incredible R&B artist. There's so many people that I can name. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to miss Amir. That's my dog. He called me yesterday. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a lot of people in Charlotte that are moving in their own. It's like, let's say this was a road. Everybody's in their own car, but we looking at each other like, "What's up? Where you going? You going to the same spot? All right, bet we." You know what I'm saying? So it's
road
like
getting wide too.
Yeah, exactly. Very wide. And I'm appreciative to not just be a part of that, but to be able to see that. Even if I was somebody who wasn't an artist and was sitting and just being in the city, I'm just happy to see that it's getting to this point. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It definitely feels like it's been a long time coming, but it's definitely going in the right lane. Then even when the baby popped off, that really brought a lot of light to Charlotte.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And shout out him. So speaking of, you're one of the only artists right now in Charlotte that's signed to a major label. Yeah. Which Rocnation. How did that come about? How did that Brew up.
So before I even go in there, I gotta take y'all to the 13. So when I was 13,
Okay, let's do it.
living on the east side, around this time, my mother and her ex-husband, they were not really seeing eye to eye. You know what I mean? So it's like we were living in a nice house, but it wasn't nice in the house. It was a very broken home. And my mom was working 3 jobs to keep the bills going. And, you know, at this time he left the house, you know what I'm saying? He left me and my 2 siblings that he had with my mother. So it's like, I'm older brother, you know what I mean? And it's like, I've always had dreams and aspirations to make music, but I was like, you know what, let me just try something at it. And my mom, she would work a lot. So she would work sometimes she would work 2 jobs in a day. So it's like, she would leave early in the morning and not get back home until we about sleep.
Yeah.
So it was just us in the house a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, instead of being outside with my friends and, you know, it's 13, so you get into that puberty stage, you want to be outside, then it's like some of the dudes in the neighborhood start looking up to the dudes who might be trapping in the neighborhood and all that stuff. They want to get their own bread and all of that, but I had a passion for music, so I kind of just stayed in the house a lot. And my friends would always be like, come outside. And they'd be like, nah, I'm recording. I'll be in my room. And I had Apple headphones, but I had my laptop and I had Audacity.
Oh, okay.
And I'll record my music off of Audacity. And I put it on Dat Piff. I put a mixtape out. I was putting multiple mixtapes out on Dat Piff. And I was emailing people, emailing my favorite producers, what I thought was their emails, realizing they fake.
So you just grinding. You just jumped on the music grind early.
Yeah, exactly. Just like trying to get my name out there. And I was writing under everybody my favorite artist mixtapes, from the Joey Badasses, 1999, the Mac Miller Kids, the Wiz Khalifa Cabin Fevers. Like I was on that piff like, yo, check out my music. I'm 13. Yeah. I'm really nice. Like I'm like that. Like just really selling it. And I was emailing people, like I'm looking up what's Pharrell's email, what's this person's email. And one person I was going to email was Knife, because obviously he's a legend, he's from North Carolina, but I was like, he never going to see it. All these emails probably been fake. So I was like, I'm going to just be a kid and go back to school. And I was in school obviously, but I was like, I'm going to just be a kid and be at school and not really think about it. And I remember that Monday I got back in class and I was just like, man, I just probably need to give up this dream for now. I'll probably go to school and then I can do it later. And I remember I went on Twitter and I guess all my spamming, you know, paid off, because somebody listened and Knife was doing a ask Knife on Twitter. And somebody didn't ask him nothing. They were like, yo, I don't have a question, but I don't know this kid from nowhere. I don't know him at all. I don't have a dog in this fight, but you need to check him out. He's from North Carolina. He's 13. Let me know what you think. Knife just so happened to be on an off day on tour, and, you know, obviously he's doing the Ask Knife thing. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. The fact that you say you don't know this kid, he's 13 and from North Carolina.
He got to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very specific.
Right. So then he's listening and he's hearing, like, obviously the quality was ass because, you know,
you're doing it on Audacity.
Yeah. But he was like, yo, like, this kid is actually spitting. So he followed me. Rhapsody ended up following me right after, and they both were like, yo, where can I, like, trying to get in contact with me. They're like, yo, DM me, this kid is hard. So I'm coming home from school, getting on my computer at the house, seeing a whole bunch of notifications. I'm like, what the world? So I DM'd him and I run to my mom like, mom, Knife wanted to just DM. And my mom's African. She's, you know what I'm saying, she's not really into the hip hop culture like this. She like, who is that? And then I'm telling her who it is, and she like, well, you know, hit him up. And, you know, he was like, yo, and for me, Knife looking at it like, this is a 13-year-old kid I'm talking to. Where's his guardian? You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be exchanging with a minor
and
over
doing
DMs.
business deals on Twitter.
Right.
Exactly what he said. He said, where's your mom? So I gave him my mom's information, and he's like, look, I don't want to promise promise your son nothing, but I want to give him a place to be able to record because I hear the potential. So when I get off tour, y'all come down to Raleigh, North Carolina, where my studio is, for the weekend, and, you know, just bring him up. I just want him to, you know, be in the atmosphere. So I went up there, and I really took it full fledged, because of where my folks come from, the stuff I was going through at the house, I really took that opportunity as like God is giving this to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for
I'm about to run with it. So
You're not gonna waste it.
Yeah. So 3 days down there, he got my mom a hotel. I was sleeping on the couch. I didn't leave the studio, and I did like 9 songs in 3 days.
That's
Any
solid.
beat they was giving me, I was just rapping on it, rapping on it. And he was impressed, and he was like, you know, I'm not promising to sign your son. He was like, but I want him to be able to come up here more. And he was like, and for Ruben, he was like, I want to tell you this. Can you be as big as a Kendrick Lamar? Can you be big as a Drake? Yes. He was like, but it's up to you what you want. Do you want to do this just as a hobby, or do you want to do this for the rest of your life? And if you want to do this for your rest of your life, we're going to help you get to the point where you can get to. I'm not promising that you can make $1 million and nothing like that, but you will eat off this music if you stay consistent. He was like, but the choice is yours on what you want to do. This could either be a hobby for you. You can come up here whenever you want, or you could really take this full-fledged, and we're going to be able to support you in that. And he told me to go home and think about it, but I already knew what I wanted.
You knew the answer.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So years went by. I used to go up there. I turned was going up there a lot, and then it was around the time Rap had signed the Rocnation, so they were getting very busy. Mm-hmm. So me and my cousin Nuke was back home really, I was like, okay, they busy, I'm about to get it back here. So me and Nuke, we at the crib, and he got a microphone, so I'm going to his crib recording now. You know what I'm saying? We building off the ground back here, and Nice started to see,
that you were still working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I wasn't waiting on him. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And I put out a video to a song I actually recorded when I went back up there, because I was still reaching out. And he was like, yo, you seem like you ready. He was like, yo, your voice done got deeper. I was like 16, 17 at this time. He's like, your voice done got deeper. You know what I'm saying? You've had more experiences. I wanted you to be a kid. He was like, but do you want to be a part of our independent label Jamla? And I was like, yeah. So, and I don't know, I don't think this is going to get me in trouble, but I want to say this because the one thing I can respect about Knife is he never ran his label like a regular label. You know what I mean? Sign this contract and stuff like that. Me being on Jamla has always been, it was never no contract. It was always word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I ever wanted to leave, I could leave.
Yep. But
he always made sure he looked out for the artist, even in the expense of Jamla, you know what I'm saying? So I'm give all the gratitude to that. And there was no contracts or no signing until we partnered with The Rock. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. And that still wasn't like, oh, all right, sign this with Jamla here, sign this with, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really appreciate that, because he could have easily, I'm 16, 17, I'm come from nothing. So it's like, he could have easily been like, here, sign this paper. Yeah. And now I have you, you know what I'm saying? Now I have you under control. But it's like, it really was just a word thing for him. And he just wanted to give us the outlet to really get our dreams out. And then he's like, when we be able to go to these other corporates and, they giving us stuff, then we can eat together and break bread together. Right. He's like, but, I want to help develop. And I appreciate that. So when I was like, I sacrificed, bro. I sacrificed my summers, any spring break I had when I was in high school. I was in the studio because I believed in myself that much, and I know where I come from, and where I want to go. So I remember going to college for a little bit, and I realized the college thing wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. I really, truthfully, I can say it now, it was really, I've always been smart. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm dumb or anything. I love school. I love reading. I love information. Yeah. But I didn't really want to go to college because I knew what I could do with this. And I was doing it because, what my mother wanted from me, you know what I'm saying? Especially at me being the first generation. And, time went by and I just was like, I ain't feeling this. And I went back home during COVID. Door dashing, working. I'm really people think because, I knew Knife, it was just oh, you had all these access, but it's no, I still had to go get it off the ground. Prove it. Yeah. 2 years ago, Nuke could tell you, bro, we was door dashing, bro. I was working at a hat store at Fitteds. Johnny could tell you, bro, I was working at Fitteds, door dashing after I get out of Fitteds, and still putting in the time to work on my music. You know what I'm saying? So I put out a music video called State of Mind, which was The Treatment was written by me, directed by my boy Patrick Lincoln, the Torch House, and free. He did it for free because he was like, yo, you were very passionate. I'm not gonna charge you for this. We put the video out, and mind you, I put the video out 2 years late. I did it in 2019. I put the video out in 2021. The president of Rock called Knife because Knife obviously has a relationship with Rock, with Young Guru, Jay-Z, all of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the president of the label called Rock and Knife and was like, who is this kid? He's like, yo, I watched the State of Mind video. It's crazy. We want to help. How can we help? And I was literally clocking out of working at, y'all know Fitted CLT, the Fitted Hat store? Yeah. I was working there early. And I remember I clocked out. It was 5 o'clock. I'm literally locking the door, about to walk in my car, and I get a call from Knife. He's like, yo, the president of Rock wants you to, they're interested. They're like, how can we help? Don't tell nobody yet. But we're going to sit, we're going to work on we're going to look at the paperwork. We're going to, get the lawyers and all of that. He's like, but we're going to, do this right. So just keep it under wraps. So I had to keep that under wraps for 6 months.
Wow.
And then I ended up signing right before my birthday, like 2021.
Damn, what a birthday present.
Yeah.
Man, what a story.
It just sounds like God has put you in such little pivotal places to catapult you to where you're supposed to be. That was beautiful. That was a cool
that was cool to listen to.
So-
coming to story.
I do want to go back a little bit. So the first time you met Ninth, you was 13.
Yeah.
And you was working with him this whole time. And kind of, working on your own too, getting it on your own, teaching yourself things,
Right.
going through life experiences. What was going on? And I guess did anybody ever try to steer you away
All the
from
time.
your dream?
All the time, man. All the time, bro. It's like from people telling me the way I rap ain't gonna make it through the pipes.
Meaning the more lyrical.
Yeah, like they're like you rap it too much. I've even had people who tell me
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
That don't make no
Like,
sense.
sorry.
yeah, like you rap too much. You need to dumb it down. You need to make club records. You need to all I've heard all of that. There was even somebody that I went to high school with, and they was having like a little bit of buzz on the campus or whatever. And I was making my rounds. People knew I rap too, but he did more like turn up, like it was like the SoundCloud rap era type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
2015,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
And he was like, yo, that boom bap shit ain't gonna cut it. Like you need to to get off of that. And it wasn't like and I hate that people always try to categorize me with that, because I can get on a trap beat, a drill beat, whatever beat that you want and still go crazy. But I feel like
you're a rapper for real.
Yeah. So it's like they just as soon like put me to like boom bap 90s-esque type of thing, but it's because I know how to I really spit and I really put out what I really put message in what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But people have told me it don't work. People tell me it ain't gonna work. People tell me I'll focus on the craft too much. People told me I obsess about
focusing on somebody telling you focus on the craft too much is crazy.
Yeah, that's
people told me that's all I think about. So it's
I feel like that's how you gotta be.
Yeah,
if you really got a passion
especially
for
in a
something.
competitive sport like that.
Yeah. Plus, if you
Well,
really
just your story, let alone you should be.
Yeah,
like you
facts.
have the 13 and I wanted to see you. Like, yeah.
And that's what my rebuttal be. It's like, for me, I don't do this just to, granted I want to, be acknowledged as one of the greats. Like I look at it like Kobe's story. He was young, you know what I'm saying? He always was into basketball. He strived to be the greatest. Like I really see myself like that. But I also see that I think me rapping is going to lead me to whatever other higher calling that God has for me in my life. You know what I mean? But this is just my path to get to there. And it's everything they happen by mistake. I literally, every time I've said I wanted to quit, he's like, nah.
Something just pulls you back
Yeah.
in.
You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, when I told y'all, I was like, yo, I'm going to just be a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then go back to
And
school.
then ninth.
Yeah, exactly. Even when I almost got the deal, I literally was on the phone with Rhapsody. I was like, yo, it's like nothing is it was like nothing is cutting through. I was like, I just don't get it. I was like, I really want to show that I can do this, but it's like nobody's really hearing me.
Yeah.
And I was even contemplating, me and Nuke talking about it, of like, obviously him telling me not to, but like me feeling like, man, do I have to take a step back? It is like every time I've thought of that, something in the universe is like, nope,
Yeah.
you gotta walk
feel
this
that
path.
one. Yeah.
So it's like for me,
Right.
being told, that's all I think about or I'm obsessed with that, and I focus on it too much. Is like, this is my purpose.
Yeah. So, at what point, when did it really set in? Like, okay, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Shoot, man.
Like, when did the doubters kind of just like, when did the doubt and like people's outside opinion kind of just fade away, and you realize you were doing what you were meant to be doing?
When honestly the deal happened, and it's not that I idolized the deal as, oh, this is the end all be all, because you got to do much work after that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that, but I felt like this was supposed to happen because I remember being 8 years old, and I was at the house and I was watching Fade to Black by Jay.
Mm-hmm.
The documentary.
Yeah.
Knife is in that documentary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Young Guru's in that documentary.
Timbaland.
But even just those two names, those are my
Right.
mentors. I didn't know them at 8 years old.
Yeah.
But for me to watch that, and I remember telling myself, I'm like, that's where I'm gonna be one day. Like, remember watching the Madison Square Garden, like, that's where I'm gonna be one day. And telling myself, I'm like, yo, I remember being on the bus with my friends and we like just joking around, like, if you had to sign to somebody, who would it be? I'm like, Rocnation, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at 8 years old. So for me to walk into that,
Life is a beautiful thing.
crazy. So
Yeah.
it's like, that was a moment. I feel like, meeting Knife was another moment. And honestly, just like I said, every time I feel like I was about to quit being pulled back, I'm like, I'm here. I'm stuck now.
Yeah, you're doing
no
exactly
turning
what
back.
you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw.
Go.
You got something? Go ahead, Henry.
No, I was just gonna say, rewind a little bit because you signed around 2021. Is
Yeah.
that correct? So you was on the BET Cypher 2020.
2020. Well, I did a voting freestyle for them 2020, and then I did the cypher 2022.
Okay.
So the
okay.
2020 was the acapella, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just doing that. How was it being in that atmosphere? Like
was
for
during
your
COVID.
first. Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it was. Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
I didn't even go to the cypher, the awards. I didn't even. I shot it in North Carolina.
Okay.
They just was on Zoom. They like had like a Zoom, and they was like, all right, like, we have these people filming you and stuff like that. We're gonna grab the footage, but we want you to do it in the studio. We want you to put this flag behind, because it's the voting thing, and it was
Right.
This is what we want. We just you need to say something about voting. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I wear a Black Panther hoodie in here. Though they got me behind this American flag, I purposely went in because there's this dude named Cool Kai who has he got them shoes that look like the ones, but they got the lightning bolt on them. But at the time he was doing like clothes first, and he had a Black Panther hoodie, so I ordered it. I was like, I'm gonna wear this, because it was like, wear black, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure I pour a real message into what I'm saying, aside of just saying. So I'm playing the game of them like, yeah, vote, but look at what I'm wearing and look at what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got
More than
that.
just rapping.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So yeah, that was the experience of that. It was like during COVID. So I was like, it's funny because I told myself, I was like, I'm not satisfied with doing the voting freestyle. I got to be in the cypher.
Yeah.
So it was dope to like get out of COVID and then be in the cypher.
Yeah, I'm sure that was always cool. Just as a videographer, I always thought, well, I did shoot my own version of a cypher, but a cypher setting is really cool, especially if people really, they getting off the beat hard, everything, just being in that rap circle, I would always call it. It was cool to see you on there. I remember, James with No Name 101. Yeah. I remember he sent it in the group message. He was like, because this was, I don't even think I knew who you were really.
Right.
He sent it. He was like, listen, this dude, he from Charlotte, this my dog, yada yada. I was like, bro, who is this? Like, this dope. This hard.
Bro.
Like, who is this guy? And then that's really when I kind of dived into your music.
Right.
And then I think a couple months later, we saw you open up for Pusha.
Yeah, which I was just about to jump into that. Being on Pusha's tour, I want to say you did 5 dates or so.
Yeah.
6?
Yeah. I did the whole East Coast. We did the whole East Coast leg. Yeah. Fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it? How was it just being on a tour? Just because this would be your first tour experience, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was
Man.
that? Yeah.
Man,
It was cool.
tour stories, boy. Tour stories. It was a very dope experience and a lot of learning. Like I said, it was our first tour. Well, I'm saying R as in not just me, but Third World in here. You know what I'm saying? We got Nuke here, we got Johnny. Y'all can't see him. We got Brandon over there, my manager.
I was just about to say, are these this your gang? This your clique?
Yeah, this not everybody, but Brandon over there, he's part of management.
Okay.
But and then this is my cousin Nuke.
Okay.
It's my brother Johnny.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, both of them really my brothers. Really,
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? It's all of us. We represent Third World, and like all of our parents is from Africa.
Tight.
So that's why we named it Third World. You know what I'm saying? It's like we Third World babies. We looking at the world from a third perspective, hence the third eye, and really being a rebel with a cause. So Brandon wasn't on the tour with us, but Nuke and Johnny was on the tour with me. We had got a Sprinter. It was my other dude Lonnie. You know what I'm saying? It was Johnny brother Mizzy, and it was fun. It was a lot of learning. We put a dent in the dang Sprinter van.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
man.
Cause Guru was with us at first
Yeah.
for like a first couple dates. Shout out to Guru. And then he was like, yo, his father had passed away. So he was like, yo, I gotta go back up north. I'm gonna let y'all do the rest of the tour. So it's literally just us on this Sprinter van driving down from New York all the way to Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was wilding, smoking out the Sprinter, all type of stuff. You know what I mean? But it was fun though. And we experienced a lot. A lot of mistakes was made, but then a lot of learning things was made, and a lot of fun that was happening. Pusha team embraced it. Shout out to Push. Shout out to his DJ. Shout out to Upscale Vandal. Shout out to just his whole team, because they was all like really on their square, and that's what we saw, and we took like how focused Push was and how focused his team was, and how they kept everything on brand. You know what I'm saying? With what Push's identity and brand is, and and Push just showed us mad love. Like after every show, he came and talked to me. He was like, "Yo, how was it?" He came in and talked to the guys. He was like, "Yo, like." He was like, yo, like you really like, he was like, you could spit, and he just really showed me love like off gate. So I really appreciated that everybody welcomed me in with open arms.
What's one thing performing wise that you could either improve on, or that you just took note on for this to be your not first time on stage, but a grand audience or something?
I think pace.
Okay.
Like I feel like before the tour, I feel like I've had good moments with stage presence, but I remember like when I first was performing, like I would get hyped very early and then burn out and then get hype again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but what I saw with Pusha was how he was able to pace himself throughout the show with his set list and what tempos. He gonna slow it down. He gonna speed it up. He gonna turn it up. And if he doesn't have to jump a lot on the song, he's gonna walk. He's gonna stand and point at somebody and really engage with the audience and stuff like that.
Interaction.
So I think for me the biggest thing for me was just pacing myself on stage. Because especially if you're gonna have a 30-minute set, I had a 30-minute set when I was on there. So it's like, exactly. So it's like you gotta pace yourself. And even my shows I've done after, whether it's 20 minutes, whether it's even if it's 15, 20, 25, 30, it's like pace yourself in that time.
Right.
So what was your I guess your most favorite mistake that you learned a lot from on tour?
Good question.
Well, I feel like people don't look at mistakes as like something that's your favorite.
I think, I mean, Nuke definitely said one. I think for me, everybody is different, but I've changed my routine of what I do before shows and just general in my life now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I was a little smoked out during the tour, you know what I'm saying? In that time, and I've grown past that, even to the point of now, like, being sober. You know what I'm saying? I'm sober now, so it's like, that was good for me. And I think also too, just being more being on my square, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff, like us putting a dent we didn't have to put it in the Sprinter, but it happened. It was a lesson. You know what I'm saying? So it's like how
did you put a dent in the Sprinter?
Right, speaking of.
Nah, go ahead, tell the story.
Right.
So it looked too funny. Hold on.
It ain't no blame. It ain't no blame when I say this.
They ain't on camera. You can point your finger at it.
I ain't gonna say no names, but basically we was in the whip.
And what city was this?
we was driving from New York to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
First of all, Nuke was driving and he was not supposed to be driving, but I ain't gonna put the blame on nobody.
Red flag number one.
Nuke didn't put the dent.
Okay.
So, you know, the other person, you know what I'm saying, we switched the cars. We switched drivers or whatever early in the morning. And, you know, Nuke was driving because the other bro was tired, which is understandable. So it was like, all right, bet, you know what I'm saying? And I remember it was like 6 a.m. And the one thing we did really do good at is early in the morning, we not playing no rap music turning up. We playing like some soul, bro. Like
right.
everybody getting up. So it's like, you don't want to be playing no Chief Keef at 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So homie got in the driver's seat and he played Duke Deuce. So I was like, bro, turn this off. It's 6 a.m. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna put my AirPods in. So he put his AirPods in, which was the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At least leave one out.
Yeah, the big ones too. The overhead.
The max.
So we all getting up by this point, and we driving into the Airbnb. The Airbnb in Atlanta, and it was like there was like a parking deck for the complex of the Airbnb we was in. But the parking deck, we was in like a 9-inch sprinter, and it was like what the parking deck like was like 7-inch, like you know that little yellow bar before you drive in.
Oh yeah.
So, homie driving, all of us is sitting and we like seeing this about to happen, and we like yo turn around, it's 7 inches.
He lit.
Whoa, I mean,
pause.
7 feet. Pause. No, I mean 9 feet, 7 feet. So we like yo, it's 7 feet. Yo, slow down, and. He in the zone. He got his headphones in. So he just zone. He not even paying attention to the yellow bar. Hit the put it in on the sprinter, and we had to pay for it. We had to drop a couple bands on it. You know what I'm saying? Missed out on a little bit of money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, it happened. And we don't butcher, even homie, like that's still bro to the day regardless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we ain't butcher bro for it. You know what I'm saying? I was mad. Don't get me wrong. They was laughing because I was like, I was walking off. I done walked off. And all
it was one of them.
Yeah, like I ain't want to talk to nobody and stuff like that.
Like, I done pissed me off for real.
Yeah, because I'm like,
what
dang.
are you doing?
Yeah, so it's like, but we laugh about it now. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely like a big like.
Yeah.
And then this was the day Guru, like this was right after Guru left us. Like he's like, all right, y'all good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all go.
It was like the parental guidance left.
Everything
went to hell.
The teacher done left the classroom.
Exactly, and then we already messing stuff up on the first day. So.
That's funny.
That's a funny story though.
And another tour related question: you did Dreamville?
Yeah.
This year? This year. How was it? One. Here's two questions. One, who did you meet that you always wanted to meet at that festival?
Oh, I met a lot of people. I met Flocka. Flocka showed me love. He was like, yeah, you been going hard, bro. And you fly. And he was like, complimenting my fit. Mm-hmm. I met mad people that day. We met Irish Star. We did not see Drake, but I knew he was coming before. Well, obviously we knew he was coming. I mean, I knew Wayne and them was coming. Before somebody asked Insider told me. But I knew Wayne was popping out. 21. Who we meet? Jordan Ward. Yeah, Jordan Ward. Very solid dude. I met Boz. Boz showed me love. A lot of people from Dreamville showed me love that day. I forgot, bro. That day was so quick. It was like so many people. Like it was because it was backstage. So like they had like a little like the tents. They had the trailers for all the artists. Oh yeah. Black, I got to chop it up with Black.
That's cool.
It's like it's a lot of people I met.
It's a lot going on.
Those was the moments that I remember, especially chopping it up with Flocka.
Just as an experience, as a whole, how was that?
It was beautiful.
Performing in Raleigh. I mean, probably the biggest festival that's ever happened in North Carolina.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
The crowd was, they was running. We was doing sound check before like the festival actually started, but they did sound check late, so it was like the gates were opening, but we seeing people running because they know. And mind you, we was on not to toot our own horn, but we was on the biggest night, Drake and Cole. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and Burna Boy, like that was the biggest night. Jid, you know what I'm saying? So it's like Summer War, all of them. So it's like people were running to secure their spots before the show even started.
Yeah.
So it was like, for us, it was dope because that was the biggest crowd I've done, but it was also performing in front of home.
Yeah.
And I
Right,
feel
facts.
like that solidified me as like, oh, okay, he's one of the next ones.
Yeah.
But then too, performing for a lot of people who don't know me, who probably flew in from Atlanta, West Coast, Germany, wherever,
Right.
Africa, you know what I'm
Everywhere.
saying? It's like, they like, yo, who is this kid? You know what I'm saying? And it was just dope to not just put on for North Carolina, but Liberia as well, and just put on for the whole home team. And my whole team was a part of that. Nuke was out there. My boy Lonnie, who's another Third World member, you know, he had did the screen. You know, obviously Johnny was out there with me. B was out there with me. Everybody was out there, and it was like, it was a us moment. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was the biggest thing. And we got to enjoy the show after. And
Yeah,
then
facts.
also move backstage, talk to people, eat food, and then go be like, yo, you know what? All this industry stuff cool, but let's go in the crowd real quick and
Right.
actually like feel the people. And we did that for the Drake joint. You know, we went in the crowd and, you know, actually watched it with all the people, and it was dope. It was fire.
That's dope. It was cool seeing that flyer drop and then seeing your name on it.
Right.
Like, you know, that's a someone from up the street, you know,
Nah,
type of
facts,
thing.
facts.
So again, and congrats on that.
Appreciate
Did you get to meet Cole?
Not that day.
Okay,
But
okay.
I've met Cole multiple times.
Okay,
Before.
cool.
You
Cool
know
dude.
What I'm saying? Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool, very laid back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I knew that it was a lot going on when he like came for like his set, because obviously Drake there and stuff like that. So
Right.
I'm not trying to. I stayed out the way for the most part
Right.
at that part. You
Which
know
is
what
fair.
I'm saying?
And Domani?
Yeah.
You did the Atlanta and New York show,
Yes.
correct? Yeah. How was that? Was cool?
That was,
Nice.
I mean, it was very fire. I think me and Damani have had a very dope relationship over the years we built. And it wasn't on some like industry stuff neither. I mean, we met through Ninth and them, obviously, but it was more so like he came down there to rock with Ninth, and I just so happened to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm the young kid who Ninth is rocking with. Nobody really knows at the time.
Correct.
And he just was amazed by my work ethic and my talent. And I was also amazed by his, aside of who his dad is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
T.I.'s a legend, but I became close with Damani just because of the person he is. You know what I'm saying? Outside of just music. And we connected on that level. And then, you know, anytime I was in Atlanta, I call his phone, I'm hanging out with him. You know what I'm saying? I might, you know, we might go to do whatever we do. Might go to the studio, might just go hang out. Mike, whatever, but he always take care of me when I was in the A.
Yeah.
Whenever he come to North Carolina, he in Charlotte, he hit my phone and vice versa. So we just built that friendship, and we used to talk about doing shows together. So it was just dope to finally see that manifest. And you know, the show was lit. The show was lit for sure. Yeah.
Plus, y'all make good music together.
Thank
'Cause
you.
he's on the album now. I love that song. Y'all both went crazy. on
Thank
that
you,
shit.
man.
Also I had a about performing. I had a friend wanted to ask you, as an artist who is still growing, what's the difference of vibe and feedback performing at festivals versus local shows or opening for other artists?
I think festivals, it's a way bigger stage to command. So
Correct.
yeah. And so for me, it's like smaller shows or opening up for somebody. It's totally different when you get on those festival stages. It's bigger speakers. It's a lot of people in them crowds. You can't just, I feel like smaller shows, you can, you know, get more intimate with the crowds, which is good. But you got to really know how to command that stage. And I feel like festivals sometimes show what type of performer you are for real.
Yeah.
That was my first time doing a festival, but from the feedback, I feel like a lot of people's like, yo, for that being your first festival, like you really
great
did
job.
good. But the difference, I think, in the vibe is like just intimacy. You know what I'm saying? It's not as intimate as festivals, but you have to command the stage more because it's not that intimate.
Yeah.
So you have to still make people feel intimate with you
Right.
in a place where it's not going to be as intimate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that, I think that's the difference.
There you answer. Another question. So let's talk about Love is a War.
Yeah.
So, how was it? How was it just making this album? And what gave you that name? What gave you wanting to name the project?
I went through a lot making this album. I feel like it was around the same time of me, you know, going through like what I told y'all about it was a battle between music in my personal life a lot. And a lot of songs started right before I signed my deal with The Rock. Some of them happened during COVID. And I feel like COVID was a time for a lot of people where we kind of like internalized a lot and really went inside with ourselves. And I think that's what I was starting to do around COVID. Really just tapping in with who I am as a person. And, you know, so I went through a lot of ups and downs with this project and different songs and stuff and things we couldn't get cleared and all of that. But I say that to say that, you know, one big thing that I think aided Love is War was the mirror a relationship I had with not even a real, like we wasn't together for real, but it was like a romantic involvement with a girl that showed me a mirror of some stuff I had to work on. And it also made me tie in things that was going on with my life, going on with my family, and going on with my, like, you know, just friends around me. And I took all of that and I poured it into that. And, you know, a lot of times in order to get to self-love, and that's what another thing I think, like, at the time, I don't think I was pouring into myself, self-love wise. You know what I mean? And I feel like I had to go through a lot of wars to get to that point. You know what I mean? And whether it was like, everybody has their own addictions, whether it's money, sex, drugs, you know, ego, even out to religion could be an addiction sometimes. You know, it's a lot of things that could be an addiction based on how you do it. But I feel like, you know, certain things I was abusing the power of it to feel a certain sense of power. And, you know, I had to go through that war with my ego and my, you know, in the human side of me, which we all have. You know, every human has an ego. And, you know, in order to get to love, you got to go through wars.
Yeah.
And love is war sometimes because you're going through that war with yourself. And I also took the title because my mother and dad both are products of what the Liberian Civil War did, and they had a love child, me. They weren't together they were together, but it's like they had a love child. I feel like the definition of love child is like a child people have when they're, you know, they're not married and they don't stay together, something like that. So, you know, going through all of that, I'm like, oh, Love is War. That's the title.
Oh, okay.
That was a great explanation.
Yes, it was.
I wasn't expecting that in-depth of an explanation.
Yeah.
But that was a great explanation. So while you was making this album, looking at the track list and, of course, listening to the album, you got some pretty big-name features on there as far as, like, Rhapsody goes, North Carolina legend. Reason's on there, who is – some might not know who he is, but he's an up-and-comer. I consider him one of the best up-and-coming rappers.
Right, for sure.
Coming from TDE. You got Damani on there.
Yeah.
I mean, how was it working with all these artists that was this the first time making music with a lot of these features, or?
Damani, no. Rhapsody, no. Reason, yes. But I would say every feature was organic. Reason, like Reason came to North Carolina. He was trying to tap in. Like, me and him all had already kind of, like, you know, got familiar with each other. But me and him was trying to, he was tapping in with Knife to get some beats. Knife was, like, running around. So I pulled up to the studio and we just chopping it up, just kicking it. He playing me songs, I'm playing him songs. We just talking about life, music, whatever. We just kicking it. And I'm like, yo, this is a song I didn't finish. I've been writing it. I got like not even half, like 1/3 or 1/4 of a verse on the second half. Listen to it, just let me know what you think. I wasn't even expecting him to like really hop on it for real. I just wanted to get his thoughts.
I got you.
And he was like, yo, I want to hop on this. And he was like, keep what you have for the beginning of your second verse. I'm gonna come in and fill it in. And I was like, well, if you do, I want you to speak from the perspective of a bottle. So that's how that happened. The rap one, we in LA, Guru plays the beat, and me and Rap, it was funny because both of our verses were about the same thing, and we didn't even have no verbal reaction of like, okay, we want to talk about relationships.
Yeah.
But we all had been talking about it in the house that day. Like, everybody was kind of going through like a breakup or like a clash with their partner. So when he played that beat, we literally both just went in our corners and was just like, right, and then it kind of was like going head to head because like Rap is like a big sis to me, so it's like it's like little bro trying to prove that like I ain't no little boy no more.
It
like,
gets
you know what I'm
competitive.
saying?
It's like I gotta out rap you on
yeah,
this.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like we go and she still
Yeah, still did a thing.
murdered.
She
You know what I'm
cold.
saying?
Yeah,
She
definitely did her
cold.
thing.
Aired out. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But nonetheless, you know, it was very like friendly competition, but also like aside of that, of the friendly competition, I think it was more so let's really get vulnerable and really get these things off of our chest and really pour emotions into this song instead of just barring up.
Yeah.
I think the competition came from relaying that message the best. You know what I mean? And you know, it came out incredible. Same with Damani. I did tricking at my crib and I pulled up on Damani in Atlanta and I was like, yeah, this is a song I ain't finished. Oh, he was like, yo, I need to hop on this. So it was like a lot of that was happening during this project and that's why I have a hard time just like forcing a feature.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times my features that I've gotten in the past have been people just willingly wanting to hop on a record with me.
Yeah.
So
What's your,
Sorry, go ahead.
so what's your favorite? What was your favorite song to make on the album?
And why?
I'm gonna say Point of View because I made the beat.
That's
As
hard.
well as wrote the rap. And then I brought it to my boy. Like that was a song I produced. Like not
Yeah.
just made the beat, but actually produced with alongside my boy Nico Orrock from out west. I pulled up on him and I played him. I'm like, yo, I made, and he always used to be like, yo, rap on your beats. And I was like, I made this beat and I wrote to it today. Tell me what you think. He's like, this is fire. He's like, yo, I'm gonna just add an 808 in the bottom. He was like, and then I was like, yo, can we get somebody to put some strings? And he's like, yeah. And then we pulled, our boy Joseph pulled up and we went in and did the hook and the rest is history. But I like that song a lot because that was a time that I really went full fledged and a lot of people don't know I produce. You know what I'm saying? I only have like probably like 2 credits. It's mine and a song Amir and Mavi did like 2 years ago. So it's like nobody really knows
I
that
had no idea.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I didn't have no idea either.
Yeah, but
Like, you
I'm-
still produce to this day?
yeah. And it's even to the point of like, I might not make the beat or, you know, be the person on there, but I will be like, yo, this is my vision. This is the sample I want. This is what I see. I want it to feel like this. I'm very hands-on with the production side of the music, regardless of if I'm actually producing it.
But see, that just makes you a better artist. It gives you more control over your music because there's a lot of artists, you know, they just know how to rap, right? And when they come in the studio, they don't necessarily know what to tell the producer or what they want it to sound like. They don't really have a vision. They just know they have this verse and they want it on this beat,
Right.
or like with an engineer, they don't necessarily know what to tell. Like, oh, I don't like that right there. Cut the highs a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Turn down the lows. So being like having that knowledge, I feel like that only benefits your ability to make music. And of course, if you keep producing, you probably gonna end up rapping on a lot of your own beats.
That's definitely happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this. I have a lot of beats in the tuck.
Yeah.
I haven't played them for a lot of people, but if I do play them for people, like they be like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just needed to get confident in my production. And I think also too, I come from a camp of Knife. He's one of the greatest producers to ever do it hip hop wise. And you know, being around Soul Council, which all of them are great, I felt like I just wanted to make sure, as little bro to all of them, I wanted to make sure my game was really tight before I show it to the world. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was the thing that I kept like being like, oh, I don't want to show people my beats. But then the more I played them for Knife, Guru, they're like, yo, you need to rap on your stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you've mentioned Ninth and Guru a lot throughout the interview. I mean, how is it to know like that? I mean, two of the greats in the game. I mean, you got Ninth and you got Guru, who's, I mean, you know, everybody know who's. Well, I don't know if everybody know who Guru is, but I mean, he's one of the greatest ever in terms of engineering. Just the work he's done with Jay through all his career. How does it feel to know that one of the greats supports you and is really like one of your mentors? And it's just really like, you know what I'm saying, looking out for you on your journey.
I think it's a blessing. And I feel like, you know, in rap right now, I've heard a lot of artists be like, I don't need no I don't need no OGs. I don't need no da-da-da-da. It's a lot of that. I hear that in a lot of songs. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't need no OGs. I ain't have no mentor. Or y'all dudes had OGs. Da-da-da. But it's like, who wouldn't want somebody to, you know, not necessarily walk you in and hold your hand, because that's not what Knife and Goo do. But give you game of what they experience, be a sense of like, let you do what you got to do, let you lead. And that's what a real leader does, is let, build people to be their own leaders, be their own bosses, but also hit you when you need advice. You know what I'm saying? Because all of us need help. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
And, I just want to, I when you brought that up, I was glad you brought it up, because I wanted to say that, because I've been just hearing a lot of rappers talk about, like, I ain't need no OGs, y'all dudes. Like, it's like, bro, like, we all need help. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just grateful to have two people who, who solidified themselves and are allowing me to solidify myself and giving me the game at the same time.
And you get it from two of the best to get it from, too.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you just, go ahead, Henry. I forgot what I was about to say.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, what can we expect the next 6 months out of Rueben Vincent?
More music.
Okay, cool.
I got this Puma thing about to drop. Emery.
Ain't it a shoe?
Yeah, it's a shoe, but it has a mixtape. It has a mixtape attached to it, and I'm on the mixtape like 7 times.
Is that why you were in New York?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like, the shoe is already out, but basically, I should have brought the shoes with me. But basically, there's so you know how like on the sides of the shoe, you go in and then you scan, and you get early access to the mixtape. The mixtape is gonna be on our DSPs on August 10th.
That's
but
cool.
it's not my shoe. It's Emery Jones' shoe.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all know who Emery is, and he just wanted to gather a whole bunch of young hungry artists and put them on a mixtape and give them like that classic mixtape feel. It's hosted by DJ Clue. I got a fire record with Guap Dad on there called Outsiders.
That's hard.
Sick.
It's
Okay.
that's one of them ones. I actually got, there's a lot of fire records, man. I got one with Zakari and RJ. I got one with Casey and Ombre and Guap Dad called Stuck in LA.
Oh, you got a record with Ombre?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been
That's
on her
tight.
shit heavy.
When does this project drop?
August 10th.
Oh, okay, that's
hard.
Yeah.
How was it working with Ombre?
You said what?
How was it working with Ombre?
So it's funny. Me and Ombre have, obviously we both on the same label, but I remember when I first met her, she had on this fire pants and I had on this sweater, and she was like, "Let me get your sweater," and I was like, "Let me get your pants," and she was like, "I'll give you these pants if you give me the sweater tomorrow, like not today, but tomorrow." And I was like, "All right, bet." And then we met again. It's funny though, I actually met her 2 years ago. I'm spiraling all over the place, but I met her 2 years ago when Rap was working on her album Eve before she signed to The Rock. And Rap had introduced me to her, so just to see her growth was very dope. But then the next day we saw each other and I was like, "Where's the pants?" She was like, "Where's the sweater?" I was like, "I left it at the crib." She was like, "I left it at the crib." And then we ended up like, having to go our separate ways. And I think at the Rock studio, I like tagged it and I was like, on one of the notebooks, I was like, "Ruben was here, don't touch this," or something like that.
Yeah.
So she took a picture, sent it to me, you start laughing. But we did Stuck in LA, ironically. And she added her part afterwards. So I didn't even know she was going to be on the song till like last minute.
No, that's dope.
But she heard the song, I guess she liked it, and added something at the end of it. So
That's super dope. I can't wait
That's
to hear
tight. Yeah, that's tight. And then just one last question for you. How was it in New York? Wasn't this past week?
Yeah, it was dope. I actually went to the Hove
The Book of Hove.
exhibit,
Yeah.
the Book of Hove exhibit.
I know that was great.
You got your library card?
No, I want to get one. I got to talk to Hove.
Yeah.
Multiple times. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to him before, but it was dope to kind of like, see him in the time we've talked was on FaceTime. So it was dope to kind of like see him in person and, give him his flowers. He gave me flowers as well. And, just have that exchange, you know what I'm saying? So it was that, we was running around with Emery, doing the Puma thing and, just made my other rounds in the city. It was a very dope week for me.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I have another question.
man,
How
go ahead.
was the Rocnation party?
The Rocnation brunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope, man. I feel like a lot of people got speculations about the brunch and what it is. And all these famous people are regular people.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Regular
really are.
people.
Yeah.
They not different from y'all, bro. And I feel like, I'm going to say this before this ends. People need to stop seeing celebrities as they're this other type of human being than them. It's just, this is their job, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of people separate don't think that they don't think people are humans, and they don't think it's real to obtain the amount of success. And I want to say to people, if you think that is an internal conflict with yourself. That's
Words
just a
from
fact.
Ruben.
Because I ain't come from nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't even define the Rocnation brunch as the success, but I was in the room with all them people.
Yeah,
and we all did the same thing. We all having fun, we vibing, we kicking it, talking, dancing, laughing. Some people drinking, some people, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever they want. But it's like, it wasn't no weird, like mysterious thing that these people make it out to be.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say, stop separating yourself from these people, because they are just like you. They have problems. They have stresses, they have traumas, they have all this stuff, but then they also have success stories. They also have alchemized their mind to be able to reach that plateau, and you can do it too. It's no different.
Amen. I got one more question.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite person that you met at the brunch?
Tyler, the Creator, he showed me a lot of love.
Sick.
Does he smell nice? Because I know he has a cologne.
I ain't smelling.
He wasn't on smell duty. He wasn't on smell duty.
But Tyler was dope. Oh, Tyler was dope in gigs from the UK.
that's dope.
This was back from when I was, chiefing, and he walked over to me and he was like, "Yo, let me hit that," and we just sat there. We was like talking for like 20 minutes. But Tyler, the Creator, and gigs, they were both like dope experiences for me. That was very fire. Shout out to Tyler. He has a very pure energy, and it was funny. He said something to me. He was like, "You're African?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I can see it. You have baddie." He was like, "You got baddie eyes." He was like, "My dad's Nigerian," and I was like, "That's dope." And I just gave him his flowers. Like, Tyler is one of the ghosts to me. I think what I'm saying, especially for this generation. As
for sure.
How he really stuck to what he believed in.
Facts.
Really made this whole world around him. And I thanked him for that. I was like, "Yo, thank you for just being yourself," because that's something that, I take in every day. So, yeah. Shout out to Tyler.
That's tight.
Did you get to meet Beyonce? My last question.
I saw B. I'm not going to say I talked to her or met her, but I saw her, you know what I'm saying, from a distance. That was a day, like, we was at the brunch. A lot of people trying to, be in their space and, this is not gonna be the last time I see her, last time I seen Jay. So, and obviously it wasn't. I got to speak to bro last week, but for other people, Rocnation brunch might be the only time you might see them. So, I'd rather just be in the back and chill and drink my little orange juice, ginger ale,
kind of
whatever.
peep it out. You peep.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what's up.
I got one more question about the Book of Hope Museum. Because I'm trying to go up there. I hope they got a petition or something to extend it the rest of the year, right?
Facts.
So I'm hoping they extend that the rest of the year because I'm probably gonna make that trip.
Gotta go.
Ooh, let me know.
Hope's my favorite rapper of all time. So
for sure.
How was it walking in there and seeing all the history and seeing baseline and what kind of feelings did that bring?
It was for me to not even be there, but to know some of the stories that's behind this, just from talking to Goo, chopping it up with Emery, being around, just the whole entity. It was emotional for me. You know what I'm saying? In a way of like, look what y'all built. You know what I'm saying? But also in the same breath, I see a lot of myself in it. And not even in a condescending way of like, oh, like, but this is where I can go. This is where I can take hip hop.
Yeah.
Right.
Even past this, because as generations, we're supposed to always transcend the last generation. But if Hove, who came in the game in 96, can build this entity with Rock and, build this brand to have this exhibit in the public library in his home in Brooklyn, it's possible for me to do the same. And not just for myself, but it was dope to see his mom in there, for her being like, wow, like, I'm in awe. All his homies, the Lennys, the Emerys, the Tatas, all the people that was with him since day one, being able to embrace the times that they built. And even to the point of like, they successful now, but I know there was times where it was like, they had to, struggles came in and battles came in for them to like, fully. And this is what I told Jay. I was like, yo, for you to go through all of this in your lifetime and get to the point where you at, that's inspiration for someone like me.
Yeah.
So it was very emotional for me because of the inspiration I was getting from it, and just being able to see everybody live out like that. I feel like that to me is like that should be the ending of the gangster movies. You know what I'm saying, y'all? You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like that's exactly how that was for me. It's like, yo, we done did it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
How many songs you write when you go home?
I actually stopped writing this all in here now.
It's all in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, impressive. I always just find that so impressive that people can just
Do that.
do that.
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
brain.
It's not.
that's
This is not my
crazy.
first time doing it. Like I did it. Certain songs on Love Is War was like I go back between writing on paper and writing in my head, but I ain't gonna lie. Seeing that exhibit, I was like, nah, I gotta master this.
Yeah.
So I've been writing in my
Right.
head since I
Okay.
got home.
Yeah, inspired.
yeah.
Ruben, thank you for coming on to the Last Minute Podcast. It's been a
appreciate
pleasure having you on this podcast, just learning more about you, and definitely some cool stories. And I just feel like I know a lot about you. That,
I appreciate
you know, just
y'all, man.
and especially hearing about the dent in the joint. That was a
splinter?
great story.
Yeah.
Nah, man, this is probably I'm not gonna hold you. It's probably one of my favorite, podcast interviews I've done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was really
Thank you.
We'll take that. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. I watched your interview with my homegirl Cedra.
Oh yeah. Shout out to her too.
Yeah,
That's
shout out
the homie.
Cedra. Yeah. Shout out Cedra.
That was another favorite one as
Yeah,
well.
that was a great
that
interview.
one and Nyla Simone's been like, these are probably my top 3 favorite interviews I've done.
That's what's
Speaking
up.
of
We'll
knowledge,
take that.
man, I forgot a question that came from the Nyla Simone interview, but
Yep.
I'll ask you at another time.
You don't want to right now?
Nah, it'll be all right.
Okay, all right, cool. So we have one last segment for you. It's called the Last Minute Questions.
Okay.
So for a minute, you usually go over a minute, but
Oh, let's do it.
yeah. So we're just gonna go around the table and ask you some questions very quickly, and I need you to answer very quickly.
Okay.
All right, cool. Are y'all ready?
Sure. I think, I don't know, I ain't got nothing loaded up, but we'll be all right.
Okay, all right.
How we going?
Normal. Start with you, and Tanner with me. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
When's your birthday?
December 31st, 2000.
Oh, sick.
Cool.
Nice.
2000, baby.
That's tight. Go ahead.
Favorite city to perform in?
Boston.
Favorite Pringle flavor?
Barbecue.
Favorite candy?
Cookie and cream Hershey bar.
Favorite shoe?
Jordan 1s or 3s.
Dream producer collab.
For real.
Ooh.
Favorite ice cream?
Cookies and cream.
Dream feature?
3 stacks.
What's
Ooh.
oh nice, yeah. What's one of the biggest cities that you ever performed at?
New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite grill layout? Because I like yours right now.
Mine.
Okay.
The star is for Liberia, the flag.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Favorite Hove album?
Today's Black Album.
Today, I like that.
Yeah.
What's the worst water bottle company?
Dasani.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. That shit trash. All right.
Last,
What is your
last question from us.
Zaxby's order?
Best what?
What is your Zaxby's order?
Wings and things.
What flavor?
Barbecue. But I stopped eating chicken. But that was what it was. Yeah.
okay.
Fuck. Favorite song on Love Is War?
Point of view.
What's one of the craziest studio stories that you can give us right now?
Shoot. There's so I'm like my mind is going mad places right now. Shoot, man. I was in somebody. I'ma just say this. I was in somebody's studio session and they was drugged out. And it was just bad.
Somebody you wouldn't expect?
Nah, I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
All right. Good last minute questions from Rueben Vincent. Is there anything that you would like to say to your fans, to the public before we close it out?
Third world business. Can Nuke and them come in the camera?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, yo, y'all say what's up, man. Go get in the camera real quick. You know what I'm saying? Johnny, yeah. Can they see y'all?
Yeah, he got his fingers.
He got his
fingers.
All right, well, that's all they need. Third world business. Liberian Independence Day is actually tomorrow. It might not. It's not coming out tomorrow, but July 26th was Liberian Independence Day.
Okay.
Shout out to LIB. New music on the way, man. You know what I'm saying? Third world. Jamla Records, Rocnation, Rueben Vincent. Rueben Vince called it dunking on someone's daughter. Yeah.
That one threw me off on the Nyla Simone.
Finesse.
But yeah, shout out Rueben Vincent. Thank you again for coming on the podcast.
Thank y'all.
And all minds and hearts clear.
Amen.
I'm good.
704
Yeah.
East.
What he said.
Big East.
Yeah. Make sure you follow Sharia at Entry We Trust. Make sure you follow Tanner at Pay to Play Records. Make sure you follow me at Zebo.g, the Zebo page, Zebo NC, and the podcast page, Last Minute Podcast. Make sure you follow Rueben Vincent at
Rueben Vincent. That's REUBENVINCENT. And my Twitter is the same thing with an underscore.
Yard. Make sure you tune into Zebo's Boombox where you can find your next favorite NC artist on Spotify or Apple Music. Make sure, shout out to our sponsors, Mamacita's Food Truck, Libations Mobile Bar, and Ensemble Stage. Make sure you are using the promo code Zebo for 15% off your adult tickets in Brown Elk, North Carolina.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is there a good food spot around here?
Hell no.
Oh, man. We going back to the city, y'all.
Yeah,
Hell no. Everything, what time is
You
it?
just might as well wait.
Yeah, what time is it?
Yeah.
You gonna be in a line?
If I wanted something good right now, I'd drive to Charlotte. If
Yeah.
that
All right,
tells
that's
you
exactly
anything.
what
Like
we're
you
going
can you might find some in Gastonia.
Yeah, maybe in Gastonia.
Right.
I was like, y'all lying.
She
Like
just a
fast
hater. Don't listen
food?
to her, though.
I don't know. The fact that you said good food.
No, we got
Not
regular
like
food.
real.
We going to the
Nah.
city, man.
Yeah, just go,
Don't even
go back to
waste
Charlotte.
gas.
Yeah,
now.
just
Yeah,
take it
let's
back
go back
to
to
the
Charlotte.
city.
Go back to
Facts.
Charlotte. Go back to Charlotte. Unless you're feeling lucky, you can stop by the casino on your way out.
Oh, wow. They got a casino right here?
It's just
Yeah.
trailers. It ain't nothing big deal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
ain't-
let me
it ain't
rephrase.
nothing.
It's a trailer park of slot machines.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There you
We
go.
got
Legit
500.
slot
Dang.
machines.
All right. We going back to the city, y'all.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, make sure shout out to our sponsors. Make sure you're tapping in. And wherever you are, make sure you're supporting your music scene, run their music videos, run their albums, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure you go get Love is War by Rueben Vincent on all DSPs. And last words?
Bikini Bottom.
That threw me off. Yeah, that threw me
The
off.
Book of Hov.
Get money.
This was random. Do you know that Hardee's, their burgers aren't, no, their burgers, okay, you know they had thick burgers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a thing no more.
For real?
Yeah, I went to, very quick story. I went to Hardee's to get my brother-in-law a burger while my sister was having a baby. Crazy story. But I was like, let me get like just a thick burger. And I was like, we don't do that anymore. And I was like, well, what do you have? They were just like cheeseburgers, a double cheeseburger, or a burger.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I thought y'all were known for thick burgers. You know, I'm saying all this. I thought y'all were known for thick burgers. I'm just at an all right now. They was like, yeah, we got rid of that like 6 months ago. I was like, really?
It's over with.
I thought that was their whole thing.
I thought that was your thing. That's like a Burger King getting rid of a Whopper.
They got a Reuben sandwich, though.
Ah, nice. So last words, thick burger.
Reuben sandwich.
We out.
But just know, Zebo is where it's at.
Oh, Zebo TV, North Carolina. Yeah.